Right.
Um.
Hey. Sent to the register and posted on the bulletin board in Borough Hall. First item on the agenda is the public comment period. If anyone would like to speak to the commissioners, please note there's a 5-minute time. Is your for anyone that wants to speak to the commissioners? Yep.
Okay. Anyone in the room? Before we go to those on Zoom. Okay, anyone on Zoom, raise your hand or type in the chat if you'd like to talk. Please.
Okay, seeing no one. The next item on the agenda is a resolution to approve chapter 159 for CCTM.
Yes.
This is a grant for the police department. The reason we're putting it on this evening is these have to get put into the state system the way they do it now. And in order for it to fulfill so that we are spending the money this year, like this grant requires before they'll give it to us, we have to pass that tonight. So this is a grant for $2,000. This is actually, so those that aren't aware, chapter 159 is the budget mechanism to bring in funds and change your budget when you receive grants throughout the year. So it actually brings it in and sets it up as a revenue and also an appropriation.
Any restrictions?
For that, specifically for that grant.
It can only be used for that purpose that Chief Cutler and I wrote it for.
Okay.
Yep,
No,
yep,
that's fine.
but we can share that documentation with you. This is for the signage, right, Chief?
For the
Additional
oh.
pedestrian signage or traffic calming signage, yes. So we
Thank you.
can't use it for anything other than that.
No, that's,
specifically for the flag.
oh, in front of the high school.
Yeah.
Oh, that crosswalk.
Yes,
Okay. And the flashing light crosswalk, but it can't be used for the flashing light crosswalk at Hopkins that was damaged.
And that's already been purchased.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
we're waiting on it.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
How hardy are these things? I mean, it seems like these things are just always broken and in some state of back order.
Yeah,
You're not wrong, Frank.
you're not wrong. We have to be fiscally responsible. There's the $50,000-$60,000 ones. It's the $5,000 to $6,000. They last as long as they last. The one at Hopkins and Grove, the commissioners I was talking about was hit by a car. So they're really making a good motion in King Crosswalk. So it's $300,000 a piece of places, 10 or 15 of them a year. All right.
For the resolution.
Motion?
Second.
Commissioner Troy,
In favor.
Commissioner Seidel,
In favor.
Commissioner Bianco Bezic.
In favor, thank you.
The next item is a resolution to amend a resolution we had at our last meeting. The budget transfers were put in the wrong direction. So we need to correct that. They can be processed properly. I have a motion.
Motion. Second.
Voting on that motion, Commissioner Troy,
In favor.
Commissioner Seidel,
In favor.
Commissioner Bianco Bezic.
In favor.
Okay, the next item is to discuss use of borough property. We have a couple of things here. The first is a Lunar New Year celebration sponsored by Human Relations. They're asking for full use of Kings Court on Saturday, February 1st from 12:30 to 6:30 p.m. This will be in partnership with HMS and HMHF Asian American Culture Clubs. They're going to have information tables, performances, and giveaways throughout the day.
Only concern I have from the notes that were sent was the photo booth celebrating all of the lunar characters. If they could just double check that it's appropriate to celebrate them all and not just the character of the upcoming year. Thank you.
Sure. And this was already reviewed by PD, and I think DPW as well. I'm great. I'm good with it.
Frank, you good?
Yeah, definitely.
Next item is the last of, I think, the school visits for the firehouse. They're scheduling that for June 4th from 9 AM to 10 PM and then also from 1 PM to 2 PM.
Good, Chief?
Yeah, what was that?
June 4th, Chief,
4th.
and June 5th.
14.
This is Central School. It's like their elementary school field trip visit, about 25 children. Mhm.
Next item is Winterfest. Michael is here. We approved Winterfest, I believe at our last meeting or the meeting before. And there are some things that you want to discuss with the commissioners?
Correct, yes, thank you. Since the last meeting, events committee met to just, to add some other elements to Winterfest. On the Sunday, we would like to add an ice carving, a live ice carving in Kings Court. This would involve, use of electricity, preferably from the gazebo, as well as like some barriers to ensure safety. It's relatively cost affordable, and, we think it would add a nice, ending to the overall Winterfest activity.
Have we done this in the past? I mean, we had the ice sculptures in the past, but are they not done there?
We've had the ice carving done in a studio, like, you know, the ice carving studio. We haven't hosted live carving. I think other organizations have, but it's never been partnership or had, not within.
Yeah.
School district did wood once, did the wood carving
I'm sure.
of the bulldog.
Yeah,
Took a couple days.
that's awesome. Yeah, I just did an ice carving in Kingsport, just before, the year before COVID. I want to say maybe January of 19. And it was like really fun to watch because he does it over a period, or they do it over a period of several hours. So people can come and go. And that's the idea, is like foot traffic is generated. And then at the end.
There are two different ones that time. Kings
Oh, you're
Court,
right.
One in another location. So I think that might be what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this would be frankly, the last years we've done it, we've had them dropped off by the artist and they're placed in specific locations. This addition would be, and this is paid for by partnership dollars, not borough budget. But it would be an addition of the live carving.
Electric chainsaw, not gas? That's right.
Electric.
All right, that's it.
Well, so, there may be an amperage issue there. Like, it doesn't take much to trip them, so you have to look at the,
I was told 20 amps would be fine, but I'll double check it just
Yeah,
to make sure.
those things pop all the time, so,
Well, I think he's using the gazebo and not the trees.
okay.
I
all
think
right,
the gazebo might be a little stronger.
Okay, all right. I don't have a problem with it, just check that.
Okay.
Really, not be fun if it doesn't work.
The other addition was that, we have a business in town who's looking to just give away free, soda and with their, part of their own ice carving. They've done this before, but we want to present it to you in case you have any concerns or reservations.
Sounds fattening.
That's all that's gonna be in it, right? No alcoholic
I'm told
beverages?
that it is
Okay,
strictly
Lincoln
soft
chocolate.
beverages only.
Yep, don't want to get dinged on ABC license.
And I think the issue there, Michael, and the reason why is it's because it's the sculpture is like right next to
Sure.
their business, but the lines for it would be in the sidewalk. I think that's why they're in that.
I think so, yes. We can talk about, you know, we can direct the sidewalk in a place where it's not getting in the way of ADA access.
Okay.
Everything okay, commissioners?
Yes.
Okay. Next one is the Girl Scouts. The past couple of years, we have approved them for use of Kings Court on various days on the weekends. They are now asking for Kings Court on Saturdays, in front of Happy Hippos and Inkwood Books on Sundays, and in front of Kings Road Brewery on Fridays. They have spoken to each of the three entities, and the three entities are okay with them having a table in front of their business. And the commissioners are okay with it.
Too okay with.
Do we know which troop or troops? What I don't want to create is a situation where one or two troops.
So last time what they did is one person comes to us, but they are setting it up for all of the troops. So each of the troops had designated times. And I think this allows each of the troops more access than previous.
Do we have room on the sidewalks for ADA accessibility
I think
in front of each of the locations?
so. You should in front of Happy Hippo,
Mhm.
as long as you're doing it on the Kings Highway side, not the Haddon Avenue side. You should in front of the brewery. Because there's no tree in front of them, so you have the access all the way to the street. And I'm trying to think down by Inkwood, should be okay. It's just they have.
It's a rather wide area there.
Yeah, because their window doesn't pop out, so it's flat against the building, so they should be okay there too. Yeah, because Inkwood's had stuff out for sales and stuff
Zaxby's
at
has
different times.
tables, that's the same.
Yeah.
This is
Mhm.
out, so.
Yeah, so you're fine in all three locations. Are we okay approving all of them?
I have no reservations.
I'm fine.
Yeah, we might just want to think for the new year, what happens if every other organization in town asks us to do the same thing? Because I'm not comfortable like
It was-
prioritizing.
It was quite an
There's no-
expansion of requests.
Yeah, and I don't want to find us as commissioners and the community at whole, like at odds over who gets public sidewalk access. So maybe we could develop a policy for next year, but I'm fine to honor this one.
The last one is just an FYI at this point. The Environmental Commission is working on their green week. They are looking to have those activities on May 3rd, Saturday, May 3rd. They are looking for Kings Court and Library Point, but they don't have details yet, so there's nothing to fully approve at this time.
No. We have to plan the Wellness Festival, and Garden Club already asked for Kings Court for May
again?
3rd. Yeah. We promised them at the last meeting.
Okay.
I'm fine to work with them on anything they want to do to like incorporate them for sure. But we just last work session, we gave Garden Club that date.
Okay.
Joanna, can you make a note to connect with Jamie on that? Thank you.
Okay, and that is it for use of borough property. The next item on the agenda to talk about is Baptist Church agreement. This is an annual agreement that just automatically renews, and has been in place for quite some time. We looked at, when we did the evaluation of the parking fees that we were charging. We made the decision to keep this agreement because it was financially, it made financial sense for us, whereas the Presbyterians no longer made sense for us to keep that agreement. They are asking for a small increase to go from receiving $2,000 for use of their entire parking lot, which is actually half of that lot back there, up to $2,400.
Revenue generated supports it.
Much more than what we're paying them, yes.
Good. One-time fee?
Yes, well, it's a one-time, it's an annual fee.
Okay.
So it's.
But paid in one payment, okay. Save my hand from signing check.
Yep, paid in one payment a year. Yes, for next year. Not this year, next year.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
We've already paid for it.
Okay, the next item on the agenda, it's that time of year, we received a notice of payment for professional services. Affordable housing, we received 3, the affordable housing received 4, the auditor, we only received 1, Labor Council received 4, Development Council, we received 4, and Risk Management, we received 3. We generally have those discussions in closed sessions to determine which of one you want to pick.
In bold is our current.
It's our current.
All
We
right.
do want to have a conversation with you about, enclosed about the war.
Okay,
Circumstances you should be aware of.
all right.
Okay.
Okay, next item on the agenda then is the meeting schedule for 2025. I'm going to provide you all of the meetings. Obviously, there's some questions that have to go back to some of the boards with some of the holidays, the Jewish holidays in October. One question I had was May 13th, I think it's Tuesday, so, and I don't think it was a holiday, so I think that first May date should be switched to May 12th. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I have it on the 12th, so that's why I put in 13th. Just making sure to know that.
And then in October, you have October 29th, and that's Wednesday. Okay, so that's supposed to be the 27th. Are there any vacations you're aware of as I look at Frank?
January 13th, and it'll be on
What, January what? 13th.
the 13th.
Okay.
February 24th. I'm traveling for work.
I am probably out of town on June 9th. But not sure. They haven't announced dates for conference yet.
What?
9th.
9th.
It depends. I'll let you know as soon as I know. And I asked a question if this binds a future commission from making amendments. And
Nope.
it does not, so good.
No, because what you'll find is as we go through the year, something will pop up and depending if it is a work session or an action meeting, whether or not we try and change it. And generally, for work sessions, we try and have all 3 commissioners here. Action meeting, it kind of depends what's going on.
Sure,
You can have one with just 2.
okay,
Try to be nice to each other.
sure,
You know.
absolutely.
That's what
We need to be here.
Yeah, yeah. Because sometimes even when you're traveling, Zoom is super convenient, but not if you're like 6 hours different or something. So
Frank, when are you leaving? January.
The 9th, returning the 15th.
Do you guys want to switch the work session to the 6th?
Let me just see.
Sure.
Okay with the 6th.
I don't have anything on the 6th.
Actually, yeah, no, that works better for me. The 13th, I probably wouldn't have been able to make either.
I'm fine with the 6th.
How you do with the 6th?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll change the work session from the 13th. Do we want to change the February meeting? That's an action meeting.
Yes, please. That's, yeah, February 24th.
When are you leaving?
I'm just leaving that weekend and away that week, so I should be here. Any other dates in February good for me. Like the 17th can work,
17th is President's Day, so
18th.
it could be the 18th.
Tuesday, I've got zoning board.
On the 18th.
Tuesday, the 18th, sorry.
Tuesday the 18th.
Yeah. And you said you were out the week of the 24th?
Mhm.
We could move the work session to the 3rd and put the action meeting on the 10th.
I can do that.
Or you could do the action meeting on March 3rd.
Yeah. Do that, yeah.
you wanted.
Is there any timeline we need to commit to in February though?
I don't think so.
I can do either the 3rd and 10th or March 3rd. Yes.
Same here.
You guys tell us what you want.
That's fine.
Third and tenth?
Yeah.
So March 3rd will be the February action meeting.
March 3rd is the work session. I'm
Well,
sorry,
posted-
February 3rd is the work session and February 10th is the action meeting.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
All right, then we have June 9th. Do you want to move it to June 2nd or you don't have, why don't,
It's a work session. It's okay.
no, that's one of the ones you don't
Want
want
to
to
wait
miss.
till it gets a little.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you.
Yeah, we can judge when it's a little closer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might not have to leave until Tuesday.
Okay, so why don't we
Thank you.
leave June 9th for now? And then we can address it as we get closer.
That would be good only because I don't have my schedule for June yet.
And honestly, there's an election before that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well played, Sharon.
sorry. No,
Thanks for the reminder.
nothing, meant, it's just, we can take a look at it again.
Election is May 13th. Is that correct?
First week of Tuesday.
Oh, I thought it was the second Tuesday.
Yeah.
Is it second? Sorry.
Second Tuesday, 13th? Okay.
Okay, and our work session's the day before. Okay, any other changes to your calendar?
No, not at this time.
We will work with these committees to hammer out some of the other issues. Next item on the agenda is the draft agenda for next Monday. That time of year, we'll do a bunch of financial matters to help clean out our books. We agreed to end our shared service agreement with Maple Shade. We're bringing on one additional person. They have a very large project that's going on there. And so they've agreed to pay additional money to have an additional person help work to complete that job. Tom Colavecchio, our longtime tax assessor, is retiring. And Judy has been training, Shoemaker has been training to take over as his replacement. She has worked alongside Tom for years. And she passed her test and is all set and ready to go. So she will be appointed at this meeting. We have the JIF and the HIP appointments. And Mr. Seidel, that is all you.
Yes. They throw great dinners.
Okay, any other questions about, one last thing we do have on there. Actually, there's a couple of things in closed session, so talk about those later. There might be 2 additional resolutions on the agenda. So any other questions about the agenda? Seeing none?
Nope.
All right, I just wanted to give you an update on a couple of things. Paul, they have started the asbestos removal. All the asbestos plaster ceiling and insulation has been abated throughout the classrooms and in the hallways. They are
I think that was me. That was-
Dun, dun, dun.
I won't move again.
They are working on the floor tile and the mastic. They should actually probably be today potentially. They have broken this down into, I think, 3 phases and, or maybe it's just 2 phases. But at the end of each phase, TTI goes in and actually does all of the tests, to make sure that it's clear. Once those tests come back that it's clear, then those areas will be opened up. But in the meantime, each section that while they are working is completely encapsulated. So you will start to see and encapsulation of some of the outside structure happen as we move forward, because it was the gutters, I believe, had asbestos in them. So they'll be removing those. So that is working. They are on schedule, and things are going well. The other update is on Boxwood redevelopment.
One quick thing about that,
Yep.
when will that move to the next phase? That's basically internal and.
So in January, we'll start pulling together and probably request to go out to bid for the removal of the outside structure.
Okay.
I think they are scheduled to be done mid to late February, I think is when this project will be done. And then that way we'll be able to potentially award and be ready to just start with the next contractor as soon as this is done.
Okay.
So. Boxwood Hall, the redeveloper has submitted applications for HPC and planning board. HPC is this Wednesday is HPC? Yeah, this Wednesday. So they will be in front of HPC this Wednesday. They will be on the January planning board meeting. If they complete HPC in one meeting, then they will also be hearing that portion of the application at the planning board in January.
Okay.
You say as if it's a very long HPC process. Does this have anything to do with the investigation of the one section of the building being maybe the oldest structure in?
I'm not aware of that. It's just, it tends to be with HPC with some of these structures that it takes longer than one meeting. So,
I'd rather them get it right than get it fast.
so, and then once they complete both of those, then we have to ship over. And that is the last item on the agenda before closed. We do have a couple of items in closed, contractual items and proposals and appointments. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about in open?
Thanks for the update on cooling.
Okay.
Actually, one thing I always. Is there any way to speed up that RFP process? Because what I want to have is the trades bidding based upon summer work, which is gonna be more expensive and hard to get. So I figure if it goes out in January, post for 30 days, get results.
It's usually, we can have them out for just as long as it's out 10 days.
Okay.
For a project like I'm sorry, it's not an RFP, it's a bid. So bids have to be out for a minimum of 10 days.
Okay.
So we put the bid out, they come back in, we should be able to award in February. In the bid, we would actually put that we want them to start as soon as this other project is done, which is anticipated to be X date.
Okay.
So that's what we did with this one. We gave them a very strict timeline as to when we wanted them to start.
And you have a budget target?
The remaining money.
All right, fair enough.
So.
So that's on the street, so they get bids and move forward.
Yep. So, hopefully everything, it was, this time of year, it's better going out because they're slower than they will be later.
Frank, you had mentioned at the last meeting, the end of leaf season. There are tons of piles. Are they actually going to do spot removals or is it over?
So it's
over
over tomorrow.
We're doing some spot removals. Technically, leaf season is over as of tomorrow. We are going to be doing some spot removals because people
Like in the Monday trash route, probably.
didn't realize third round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not out doing a full fourth round.
Great. Would love to hear what made it so much faster besides weather this year.
weather.
The drought.
The drought, sure. Leaves were light. They weren't heavy.
I mean,
They
so,
never froze.
so
The trees weren't surviving as well, so they dropped it.
and essentially we were doing a leaf route. We were doing leaf collection essentially in 1 week. first,
Oh, wow.
first two runs,
Mhm.
just about. Now,
So
maybe,
a week and a half.
about a week and a half, whereas like a third run where we had a couple days of rain, that was like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So if you have a lot of rain and stuff like that, it extends it a lot longer. And conversely, we got through it quicker than part of the reason why we're going back for the Monday is like, as soon as that they were done, that's when all that wind came and the rain, and like, there was a huge
Sure.
drop the following day. So we said, all right, just go back quickly and knock out the ones on Monday. But I mean, I'm in a Thursday route, and where my yard is now is where it is every year at the end of leaf season. There's some
Yeah.
left over. My neighbor has a tree that is not gonna drop its leaves for another 2 or 3 months, and that's what happens every year, and life goes on, so.
There's always spring.
And again, one of the things we talked about is as an offset, because we actually got done for the first time in a very, very long time. You know, we had stopped doing veg waste pickup because we needed all those that manpower. We might be able to add another 1 or 2 of those over the next couple of months if necessary. If we have to.
Any other towns need to lease our leaf pickups? Are they behind or are they?
Don't know. And usually it's not just the equipment, it's usually the manpower.
Yeah, sure.
The seasonals, yeah, that's always a gamble when you bring them home, when you can get them, you're competing against other municipalities for seasonals, you have to kind of lock them down
Unfortunate
early.
this year.
But the one thing we're gonna have next year, actually, it's probably done next few months here after leaf season, is talked about before, but a single person operated vehicle that has like a boom on it where you kind of swing it out and lift it up. So I kind of envision that before the main months, you can kind of maybe get that out and just doing sweeps, almost like a street sweep, picking them up. And then after the end of leaf season, maybe have that one go around for the next couple of weeks here, just one person doing it, just, picking up along the way. So, but we'll have to build that and plan next year.
We'll see how it works.
What's that?
After we see how it works,
Yes.
we should have it for spring cleanup.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to open to the press for conversations and then go into closed session? Sure. Anyone from the press have any comments, questions?
With the police grants being explored, saying signing just the sign.
Yeah, in conjunction with the county, moving the crosswalk eventually. Right now, the crosswalk enters into somebody else's driveway, so they're actually moving that, and then the borough is in conjunction with the county, flashing lights.
I mean,
It's gonna be closer to Roberts. The other side of, right now, it's on Cherry Hill side of,
Sylvan.
Silver.
I didn't know.
and then to clarify the call, timeline on that, for the demolition, is that we hope to award the demolition in March?
So we hope to award demolition potentially in February with potential start in March or April.
And this is for another story we're doing, but on Saturday, the
I mean, I think we all get you. I mean, it's basically, it's a county initiative where they're also looking for volunteers and both private municipalities, that sort of thing. So we've had 1 truck there or 2 trucks there?
One,
Just 1 truck
One
there
and 2
and a
people.
crew to help out. I stopped by, you could not walk out there, but I took pictures of it. There were, municipalities, private crews, all taking on the trees. Basically, it's just an initiative to improve the health, remove dying trees or dead trees, that sort of thing, and then ultimately replaced with healthier trees or let healthier trees thrive there. And I don't know what the total removal was or how many people participated. It was a lot. I mean, a lot of people showed up there and you couldn't really get access to it. There's a link somewhere on the county, well, I'm not sure if it's still there, but there was a link on the county website that kind of explained the day and what they were looking for.
And I was wondering if there are any they're just. Other.
Sal?
So sorry. So there was one motion which did not move forward because of inaction. So that was to adopt the recommendation or not adopt the recommendation of the planning board. There was also a second one that similarly had to do with adoption of the redevelopment agreement. Neither of those two, as you know, passed. I anticipate that they will be agenda items, something similar will be agenda items next week, which is our last meeting of the year, the 16th. And there'll likely be some action at that point in time, but I can't predict, what that action will be. But the short answer to your question, yes, I anticipate something will be there for next week.
And is there gonna be?
Is this public? Do you have to do?
Not after closing.
Thank you.
You mean the actual request for proposal or the responsive?
The response.
You have any problem with those? I don't see. Yes,
Yeah, I mean, do an open request. Yeah. I mean,
all of them?
Yeah.
yeah, there were.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18.
We may file an open request because we may have to redact, there might be some financial information. Sometimes they'll submit a W-9 or a tax ID number or something along those lines.
Yeah,
So
we see something like that in there, yeah.
we've got to redact that. So,
Yeah.
so we've got to take a look. We just can't say here.
Thanks, Molly. Okay. You need a motion?
Anyone else?
Oh.
Okay.
I'm always online on emotions.
Emily, do you have any questions?
Nope, no questions from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, then do I have a motion to go into close?
Motion.
Second?
Voting on that motion, Commissioner Troy,
In favor.
Commissioner Saidel,
In favor?
Commissioner Bianco Bezek.
In favor, thank you.